Hello students, very good morning. So I'm going to start with a new chapter, that is tissues. It is a very interesting topic. So from the last chapter, the fundamental unit of life, you have studied about different kinds of cells, right? So we recall that all the living organisms are made up of cells, right? In unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all the basic functions. For example, amoeba, it is a single cell, right? So it carries out all the activities like movement, intake of food, and gaseous exchange, excretion. All this taken place by a single cell. In multicellular organisms, there are millions and billions of cells. Most of these cells are specialized to carry out specific function. Each and every organ will perform different functions, right? So each specialized function, it is taken up by a different group of cells. Since these cells carry out the only particular function, they do it very efficiently. Okay, so since they have only one kind of work, a particular function, they'll do it very efficiently. In human beings, muscle cells contract and relax to cause the movements. They are all one kind of cells. And next, nerve cells. So nerve cells carry the messages from one part to another part. And take our blood. So blood flows to transport oxygen, food, hormones, and even waste materials, and even so on, right? So in plants also, they have vascular tissues. They conduct food and water from one part of the plant to the other part of the plant. So multicellular organisms show a division of labor means division of work. Okay, so each group perform a specific function. It is called as division of labor. Cells specializing in one function are often grouped together in the body. This means that a particular function is carried out by a cluster of cells at a definite place in the body. These cluster of cells are called as tissues. Tissues means a cluster of cells or group of cells performing a particular function. It is called as tissue, and it is arranged and designed so as to give the highest possible efficiency of the function. So example for these tissues are, you can see plant tissues like xylem and phloem, epidermal tissues, ground tissues. And in animal tissues, so smooth muscle tissue, loose connective tissue, nervous tissue, blood and columnar epithelium tissue, and even nerves also. So these are all called as tissues. See, our plants and animals are made up of a same type of tissues. Let us compare the structures and functions. So do plants and animals have the same structure? Do they both perform the similar function? Yes, there are noticeable differences between the two. Okay, you know that plants are stationary, nothing but they are fixed to one place. They cannot move. So, and since they have to be upright plants, so they have a large quantity of supportive tissues. Okay, ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಪ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಟು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ದಟ್, so the plant body has a supporting tissues. The supporting tissues generally has a dead cells. Okay, they generally had a dead cells. So animals on the other hand, they'll move around in search of food or the mate and shelters. So they consume more energy as compared to the plants. So most of the tissues they contain are living. Animal tissues, all the animal tissues are living. But in case of plants, some of the cells may dead, but they are giving a structural strength to the plant. Another difference between animals and plants is it is in the pattern of growth. Okay, the growth in the plants, it is limited to certain regions, while this is not so in the animals. Okay, so in case of plant, the growth is related to only to the shoot tip and the root tip, sometimes the root tip, and even in the axils of the leaf. Okay, the growth will take place in these regions only, but not in case of animal tissues. So the division of cells takes place all over the body in the animal tissues. There are some tissues in the plants that divide throughout their life. Okay, these tissues are localized in a certain region. Okay, the tissues are called as meristems. Okay, so in the shoot tips and the root tips, in the axils of the leaf, the tissues are localized. At these portions only the cell division may takes place. The dividing capacity of the tissues, various plant tissues can be classified as growing or meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. So cell growth in animals is more uniform. Okay, you can't find much difference so as compared to these plant tissues. Okay, cell growth in animals is more uniform, so there is no such demarcation of dividing or non-dividing regions in the animals. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಶೂಟ್ ಟೇಪ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೂಟ್ ಟೇಪ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ರೀಜನ್, ಸೊ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗ್ರೋ, ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ತರದ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Structural organization of organs and organ system is far more specialized and localized in a complex animals than even in very complex plants. So this fundamental difference reflects the different modes of life pursued by these two major groups of organisms. Two major groups means plants and animal group. So they are differently adapted for a sedentary existence on one hand and the active locomotion on the other hand. You know that the plants are fixed to one place, and animals, they can move from one place to another place. So these plants exist as a sedentary life and these animals have a locomotion. So this contributing to these differences in organ system designs. It is with reference to these complex animal and plant bodies that we will now talk about the concept of tissues in some detail. Students, there is one activity here. So take two glass jars and fill them with water. So now take 2 onion bulbs and place on each jar. Okay, observe the growth of roots in both the bulbs for a few days. Okay, then after a few days you have to measure the length of the roots in day 1, day 2, day 3. So on the 4th day, cut the root tips of onion bulb in the jar 2. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ನ, ಸೊ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ರೂಟ್ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು cut about 1 centimeter. So after this you have to observe the growth of roots in both the jars and measure their lengths each day for 5 more days and record the observations. So there are some questions. Which of the 2 onions has longer roots? Okay, here the jar 1 has a longer roots. Why? Because so in this jar we have cut the tips of the roots, right? So do the roots continue growing even after we have removed the tips? So if we remove the tips of this onion here, so the onion will not grow their roots once again. So why would the tips stop growing in a jar 2? So after we cut them. Why? Because there are, I told, in the localized tissues will be present in the tips of the roots. So this help in the growth of a cell. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ root tips ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so there are a group of cells so which undergo continuous division. Okay, so if we cut that means so there is no growth further. So I told the growth of a plants occur only in the specific regions. So this because dividing tissue, it is also known as meristematic tissue. It is located only at the root tips, shoot tips and the leaf axils. So depending on the region where they are present, so meristematic tissues are classified as three types. Consider this is a whole plant. Okay, so one is apical meristem. It is a tip of the plant. Intercalary meristem. It means in the nodal regions. In the nodal region, this is intercalary meristem. And next is lateral meristem. New cells produced by meristems are initially like those of meristem itself, but as they grow and mature, their characteristics slowly changes and they become differentiated as a components of other tissues. For example, here I told meristematic tissues will be present, right? These are like simple cells only. So as they become old, they get mature and differentiated from the main meristematic cells. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆರಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಪಿಕಲ್ ಮೆರಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟಿಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ roots. Students, here you can see the tip of the shoot looks like this in the microscope. This is meristematic tissue. So here continuous division of cells are taking place. Okay, this is root tip. Here also the meristematic tissues will be present. So it helps in the continuous production of cells. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಈ ತರ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಟಿಪ್ ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೂವ್ ದೀಸ್ ಮೆರಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್. So that's why they'll say that don't plug the tip of the shoots or roots. Even roots ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 1 centimeter ಅಷ್ಟು, the plant root may not grow. Okay, why? Because these meristematic tissues helps in the growth of a plant. This apical meristem is present in the growing tips of stems and the roots, and it increases the length of the stem and roots. Okay, these meristems are the responsible for the length of the plant. The girth of the stem of roots increases due to lateral meristem. Okay, this lateral meristem, it is present in the sides of the plant. This helps in the increase in the girth, andre so agala agodike athwa dappa agodike. So this apical meristem helps in the upright growth. So this lateral meristem, it is also called as cambium. And here there is one more important meristem, that is intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem seen in some plants, and it is located near the nodes. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಲೀಫ್ originated region ನ node ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So at the nodal region, this intercalary meristem will be present. Apical meristem present in the root tips and the shoot tips. Intercalary meristem present in the nodal regions, and this lateral meristem is present in the sides of the plant, and it helps in the growth or the girth of the, it increases the girth of the stem and roots. As the cells of these tissues are very active. Okay, the meristematic cells are very active. They have a dense cytoplasm. So this meristematic tissues very active. They have a dense cytoplasm. You can see they have a dense cytoplasm and a thin cellulose wall. Okay, you know that the cell wall is made up of a cellulose sugar, right? So and a prominent nucleus inside the cell, and here they lack vacuoles. You might have a doubt that why vacuoles are absent in the meristematic cells. So as I told, so these meristematic cells are continuously dividing, then they are very active. So they need so much, since they are continuously dividing, they need so much amount of nutrient materials for the division. So that will be present in the cytoplasm, and hence the vacuole is absent in the meristematic cells. Why? Because I'm repeating once again. Why? Because since these meristematic cells are very active and they're continuously dividing, they need more amount of reserve food materials. So that will be stored in the cytoplasm. Hence the vacuole is absent in the meristematic cells. So this is about the topic meristematic cells and tissues. I hope all of you have understood. Thank you.